Okay. Yeah, good evening. So today we'll do reading as usual. Sorry I'm a little late. I was taking care of my baby. Okay. I put chat. See if anyone's joined. Hello, Azbek. So, yes. Today I'll try to be more educational. Last time I was too locked in, like finding all the correct answers, which I succeeded in, by the way. Succeeded in doing. But this time I'll try to walk through my process a little bit more in detail. And in the end, maybe we will do like a vocabulary analysis, because when most people say like, where should I learn the vocabulary, my usual answer is you should do it from like your reading passages, your reading tests, practice tests are your best source of vocabulary. And that was the case with me. I learned most of the words from the reading passages, the books that I've read. Yeah, so you learn in context, it makes sense to you, those words are important to you because they helped you find the answer, or they stopped you from finding the correct answer. So yeah, when there's context, when there's importance, emotions, the words you learn, they stick. Anyway, on the same thing, full test. There's a little bit of an echo, I think. Let me adjust. Okay. So I start the clock. There you go. So what's my procedure with passage 1? It's very easy. I usually spend less than 10 minutes for passage 1 because I use location keywords and I avoid reading the whole text. Right, and everything usually follows order as well, and that definitely helps. So manatees, I don't know what that is, so I'm just gonna jump straight into the first question. So I need the appearance of this, I think it's a plant, but with a differently shaped something. Okay, dugong is going to be my location keyword. Those are very important. So where is dugong? There you go, right? I'm not reading anything, I'm just looking for this word, dugong. Okay, so it looks like it, but yes, they look alike. They're similar in size, color, and shape, but both have flexible flippers. Has a broad, rounded tail, whereas the fluked, that of a whale. Maybe it's a bird then. Regardless, the answer is going to be tail, because so their tails are different. Everything else is very similar, apparently. Yep, so there goes with the first answer. How did I find it? I looked for the location keyword, found it, and then differently shaped was like I was looking for the paraphrase of this phrase, basically. Differently shaped, yes, so everything is similar, however, right? It means, yep. So similar, however, means difference. Yes, so they have a broad, rounded tail. These guys have fluked tail. Okay, movement. Have fewer neck bones than most mammals. I'm pretty sure that this phrase is going to be about location keyword because it can't be paraphrased, yes. Bones in their neck. So my answer, second answer, should come below this phrase, like after this. Need to use their something to help to turn their bodies around in order to look sideways. So if you want to look on this side, they need to use their, I'm guessing the, what is this called? Fins. So, okay, allows to move its head up and down, but not side to side. To see something on their left or right, so that's their side, they need to turn their entire body. And they do it using, steering means, help them move, with its flippers. Yes, so they use their flippers to turn sideways. All right, next question. Sense vibrations. I don't think vibrations can be paraphrased. In the water by means of something on their skin. So they have some kind of sensors on their skin, which helps them identify vibrations, let's see. However, whatever. Yes, they also have some hair. Yeah, so I was just looking for the word vibration. I found it. So, like from the flippers to vibrations, I didn't actually read anything here. I was just scanning for the word vibration. That's how I do it really quick, because I know exactly what I'm doing. I trust my process, and I follow it to the letter. Like I never question if maybe there's something here, so maybe I should read this part. No, I know there's nothing, because location keywords are very important in IELTS. Yeah. By means of means what did they use, like via or using. Yes, they have hairs, which help them sense vibrations. So hairs. By the way, I'm doing this reading text for the first time to make it authentic. Can I move on? Excuse me? Hello? Okay, I think there's a glitch. Okay, hello? Thank you. So feeding, what they eat. Now, aquatic vegetation. I'm afraid this word is very paraphrasable, so I just need to find where the information about feeding food is given. And that'll be my location keyword here, not this, because I'm guessing it's going to be paraphrased. So yeah, like when I'm choosing a location keyword, I make sure the word I choose can't be paraphrased. It's going to be the same in the passage as it is in the question. Okay, yes, it's diet. There you go. That means feeding. So they eat vegetation, like different weeds. Just need to find one example of that. Seagrasses and other marine plants. So plants means vegetation, and seagrasses is the answer. By the way, it's a good idea to type your answer in rather than copy paste it, because sometimes in Inspera, where the exam, your real test is conducted, copy pasted answers might not be saved. So it's just a little tip there for real test day. Grasp and pull up plants with their, so they grasp, they hold it, and pull up plants with their teeth, maybe, if they have any. Yes. Grazing and uprooting plants. Yes, so that's it. Okay, just continue reading. Plants, right? Due to abrasive aquatic plant diet, these teeth get worn down and they eventually fall out. So they continually grow new teeth that get pushed forward to replace the ones they lose. Instead of having incisors to grasp their food, have lips which function like a pair of hands to help tear food away from the seafloor. Okay, finally. So it's not teeth, they use their lips apparently to, which serve as hands, tear food away from the seafloor. Tear food away. Yeah, you know what tear means? So it means to pull up. Grasp and pull up. Yes, so I'm just following order, looking for my location keywords, and yeah. Breathing. Let's find breathing. Actually, come to air 2 to 4 minutes. That's a better location keyword, easier to scan. And 15 to 20 while sleeping. There you go, 15 to 20 minutes sleeping. My answer should come after this. Next question. May regulate. You see that I'm not using the location keyword from the note, from the bullet point that contains the question, but one that comes before it because it has better location keywords. Yeah, it just makes it faster. So may regulate something of their bodies by using muscles of diaphragm to store air internally. Okay, diaphragm is actually another nice location keyword, can be paraphrased. So is there breathing to adjust their buoyancy? Yeah, so adjust means regulate, and that's the answer. I happen to know what buoyancy means. It means like control, floating in water. That's your buoyancy. All right, we move. So done with gap filling questions. It was very smooth, I think. Teacher, can you also give information about how you practiced reading, because majority of students really struggle with that? I'm pretty good, thank you. Okay, so passage 3 is going to be difficult. Yeah, we'll see about that. I practice reading like this, yeah. I just find the location keywords and try to do it really fast. The West Indian manatees can be found in a variety of different aquatic habitats. Location keyword. Do they live in different habitats? Is the question for which I'm going to be looking for an answer. So there's the location keyword. It moves between freshwater and saltwater, taking advantage of coastal mangroves and coral reefs, rivers, lakes, and inland lagoons. All of these are different aquatic habitats, so it's true, right? So different habitats. The Florida manatee lives in warmer waters than the Antillean manatee. Okay, the Florida. So this Florida and this Antillean are the location keywords. Warmer waters. I need the comparison of temperature of these two waters these fish live in. There you go. The first one. Is found Florida. Have been recorded in Bahamas. Typically restricted, ambient water temperature drops below. It takes refuge in naturally and artificially warmed water, such as the warm water outfalls. Yes, many people would see the word warm like twice and they just choose true. But actually, we don't have any comparison. So we're just talking about Florida fish, manatee. But there's nothing about the temperature of Antillean manatee. So the answer is actually going to be not given, right? Because we don't know if the water here is warmer. We know how warm it is. Actually, we don't. So when it drops below 20, it just takes refuge in warmer water. But we don't know if it's warmer than Antillean. Antillean's habitat. The African manatee's range is limited to coastal waters between the West African countries of Mauritania and Angola. Okay, I totally butchered this word. But anyway, the African manatee, is it limited? My keyword. Is it limited here between these places, or can it go beyond them? On the sea, there's the keyword. Down to Angola is also about and found in the sea along the west coast. The species also make use of rivers, with the mammals seen in landlocked countries such as Mali and Niger, I don't know. It lives here as well as here, so it's not limited to these two places. It's found elsewhere as well. Yep. The extent of the loss of Amazonian manatees in the mid-20th century was only revealed many years later. My main keyword, Amazonian manatees, is my location keyword. And there you go. So was it discovered many years later or was it discovered immediately is the question, right? Big animals, kilograms, whatever. It's estimated that were killed between this and that for their meat. In more recent years, decline has been tied to incidental capture. Hunting is now illegal in every country. The extent of the loss was revealed many years later. For their meat, it's estimated that. Now we know, but is it many years later? Yeah, like there's no paraphrase of this. Like for my to be able to choose answer, like true answer or true or false, I need this either paraphrased or contradicted, and I don't think I have that. So I'll go with not given. Yeah, based on this part. I hope it's not incorrect. 11. It's predicted that West Indian manatee populations will fall in the coming decades. It's predicted. Yes, so I think fall is going to be the key word. So is it going to fall or is it going to increase, stay the same? And West Indian. That's West Indian are also expected to undergo a decline of 20% over the next 20 years. Decline means fall. Expected to means predicted to. Everything fits. It's true. The risk to manatees from entanglement and plastic consumption increased significantly in these period. Yes, so these are the threats to their survival. Has these threats become more serious? This is location keyword. Entanglement and a plastic consumption memos from 2002 and found that at least involved manatees. The chief cause of death increased significantly. Do we know that? We don't know that. So the word increase is the keyword. Did it increase or did it fall or did it not change? What happened? There's nothing. It's just there were 700 cases, but we don't know if it was an increase or a decrease. Yeah. There is some legislation in place which aims to reduce the likelihood of boat strikes on manatees. So is there some legislation? Is there a law that's trying to prevent this? In certain parts now limit boat speeds during winter. Yes, there are laws which limit boat speeds. And there you go. Now let's count. I have 3 not given answers and 3 true answers and only 1 false answer. Is that a problem? It might be. So again, I might have to come back to this because the rule of thumb is, how many questions do we have? We have 7 questions. We should at least have 2 of each true, false, and not given answers. Yeah. And here there's an anomaly in our data here. But sometimes IELTS does that just to avoid students using these statistical tricks. Anyway, so which paragraph contains the following information? Only 3 questions of those. That makes me happy. Maybe not, because I really like these questions. They're very easy. What makes us procrastinate? I wish I knew. And between employee who often procrastinate and those who do not are mentioned in the text. So what I'm going to do is, so I ignore these 3 for now. I'll focus on these, either this question type, summary completion, or multiple choice. And my reasoning is these follow order, these 2, and it doesn't. This does not. So it's just more logical to do it that way. I think this should come first. But I'll check. Employees who often procrastinate, those who not are mentioned. Employees. Okay, there's nothing about employees, I think, in the beginning. So I'll start with this. Many people think that procrastination is a result of. What is procrastination the result of? Is a habit, usually focusing on less urgent thing. We all do it from time to time. Composing a message. Yeah, like I don't have a clear location keyword here, so I'm forced to read right from the beginning. And that sucks a little bit, but it's okay. Composing a message, college, we're doing our best, but deep down we know that we shouldn't. Be berating ourselves won't stop us procrastinating. It's one of the worst things, as my procrastination doesn't just waste time, but is actually linked to other problems too. It was just an introduction. It didn't give me what I was looking for. The reason why people think we procrastinate, I think it's this sentence. Yeah. So contrary to popular belief, which means many people believe this, right? Many people think this. Scientific studies suggest procrastination is in fact caused by poor mood management. People think it's a poor time management, but it's actually poor. It to be the result of inability to organize time efficiently. Is not due to laziness. Oh, I'm sorry, laziness. I almost chose incorrect answer. Is it one word only? It is one word only. Yeah, time management doesn't fit because first of all, it's two words, and second of all, it's already mentioned. Due to poor mood management. By the way, I was gonna do vocabulary as well, like vocabulary analysis. So let me just open. Wait. Word document. It's taking me too long. Yeah, new one. So contrary to popular belief is a good one. Procrastination. Maybe people don't know the word procrastination either. Okay. I'll type that in just for good measure. The tasks we are most likely to put off are those that could damage our self-esteem or cause us to feel put off starting or completing tasks they're really not keen to do. If just thinking about the task threatens our sense of self-worth, that's self-esteem and self-worth, or makes us feel anxious. So that makes this the answer. Comparing chronic procrastinators with other people even found differences in the brain regions associated with regulating emotions and identifying. Okay, so research chronic procrastinators are equally different in people who chronically procrastinate compared to those who don't procrastinate frequently. Regulating emotions and identifying means detection of threats, right? Just a simple paraphrase. Emotionally loaded and difficult tasks often cause us to procrastinate. Emotionally loaded or difficult. Yeah. That's the location keyword. Getting ready to take something might be a typical example of one such task. Getting ready to take shower, maybe. It's just preparing for exams are prime candidates for procrastination. So Take exam is a valid collocation in English, but it should be exams because it's in plural here. Yeah, actually there was no article A, so I should have known that the word that I was looking for would be either uncountable or plural. Might be a typical example of one such task. I usually advise, tell my students to first predict the answer logically and grammatically, and then look for it. I'm not doing it here because I'm doing it subconsciously. Yeah, I just forgot about it completely. People who are likely to procrastinate tend to be either something or those with low self-esteem. So it's definitely going to be adjective. So either depressed, maybe, right? Yeah, I think depressed is a very good candidate here. Exams, okay. People with low are more likely to procrastinate. Another group of people who tend to procrastinate are perfectionists. I told you it'd be adjective, but I was wrong. But that's okay. Perfectionists is going to be the answer, and it's not an adjective, it's just a plural noun. Procrastination is only a short-term measure for managing emotions. It's often followed by a feeling of something which worsens our mood and leads to more procrastination. So what follows procrastination? Repair more enjoyable task. We get another. Think of the cost. Okay. Short term. I just need to find the part where it says it's short term. Emotions, if you engage in more in the long run, isn't an effective way of managing emotions. There you go. So it's only a short-term measure, right? I found the paraphrase. Is temporary. Afterwards, people tend to be left with a sense of guilt. Oh, guilt. I was thinking of frustration, but guilt works. Which increases their negative mood, right? Worsens their mood. Easy peasy. So we move. Now I need to find employees who often procrastinate. Employees. Productivity. Okay. Studies impact student performance. This is student performance, but I need employee performance. Students. Okay, there you go. Spent almost a quarter of their workday procrastinating, and again, this is linked with negative outcomes. In fact, so my strategy here is not to read the options. Use the location keyword to find where the answer is, and then just read around that, understand both answers, and then come back to choose them, find them from the list. Okay, so they spend almost a quarter of their workday. If they work 8 hours, 2 hours of their workday is spent procrastinating. And again, this is linked with negative outcomes. In one of the survey, over 222,000 employees participants who said they regularly procrastinated had less annual income. Okay, this might be an answer. And less employment stability. So they were not stable in their jobs. For every 1 point increase, annual income decreased by $15,000. Their salaries are lower. Yes, less annual income, definitely. The quality of their work is inferior. Inferior means worse. Inferior. But it's not the answer because we don't have it. Less employment stability. They don't keep their jobs for as long. And that's it. So stable employment means it's like a job security kind of thing. So you get to keep your job for a long time. You don't have to be worried about becoming unemployed. So you have a stable and secure job. Okay, next which two recommendations for getting out of a cycle of procrastination does the writer give? We just need to find writer's recommendations. I assumed that there was nothing here because I read the first sentence with serious health and well-being problems, so it's further describing the problems. Yes, just, yeah, like, and the last sentence also confirms that assumption. So finding better ways of managing our emotions is one route out of the vicious cycle of procrastination. So first solution is managing our emotions, like better ways of managing our emotions. An important first step is to manage our environment and how we view the task. Okay, so the first step is managing our environment. So maybe this is going to be the first answer, not that. And how we view the task. There are a number of evidence-based strategies that can help us fend off distractions. They can occupy our minds when we should be focusing on the thing we should be getting on with. Reminding ourselves about why the task is important and valuable can increase positive feelings. So we should be reminding ourselves, right? I have to do this homework because otherwise my teacher is going to whoop my ass tomorrow. Yeah. Forgiving ourselves and feeling compassion can help break the cycle. So we should also be forgiving. Like whenever you're feeling guilty that you're spending too much time on social media, just forget it. Forgive yourself, right? It's okay. Everybody else is doing it. We should admit that we feel bad and not be overly critical of ourselves. We should remind ourselves that we're not the first person to procrastinate. Exactly, right? You're not the first person, you're not the last person. Everybody else, literally every single person on earth, they procrastinate. Doing this can take the edge off the negative feelings. Take the edge off is a beautiful idiom. Like, beautiful idiom. Take the edge off. Okay. Of negative feelings. So it means just makes it softer, makes it less bad. I think not judging ourselves harshly. Yes. Setting ourselves manageable aims. I don't remember reading that. Rewarding ourselves for tasks achieved. Nope. Prioritizing tasks according to their importance. Nope. Avoiding things that stop us concentrating on our tasks. Yes. So fending off distractions. I'll be honest with you, I don't know the location, not the location, the phrasal verb, fend off distraction. So that one's going to be new even for me. But yeah, A and E are answers. I am very confident, right? Just from the last paragraph. So mention of false assumptions about why people procrastinate. So false assumption. 2 reasons people think they procrastinate, why they procrastinate, but they're wrong. I remember this being mentioned here, not here, but here, B, right? Contrary to popular belief. Reference to the realization that others are also procrastinate. Is it this? We're not the first person to procrastinate, nor the last. I mean, I don't know. It feels like it. Neurological evidence of a link between procrastination and emotion. Neurological evidence, so evidence from brain. Where was brain? Brain studies. Caused by poor management, self-worth, detection, brain imaging. Oh my god, brain imaging. B. For real? 3 questions and 2 of them are B? What are the chances? Okay, I was afraid of this. Just a second. I need to charge my laptop. back. This is my home setup, by the way. That others also procrastinate. I think it was right. Yeah, just gonna trust it. Okay, so passage 3. I actually like passage 3s more than passage 2s because they follow order. Like everything, I just start with the 27th question and finish with the 40th. Right? I don't have to think about it. Okay, so first, I told you, Jesus. There you go, Jesus. Location keywords. It's just like passage 1, but a little harder. The vocabulary used is a little harder. You need to know a few more words here to be able to find the answers. So when he first used ABS, by the way, invasion of the robot umpires. Umpire is, yeah, exactly. It's a judge, right? I know it from table tennis. He shared decision making about strikes. Wait, what? I don't understand the first question. When DJesus, who is DJesus? In a minor league game to use something called the automated ball strike system, often referred to as the robot umpire, any judgments himself about a strike? Okay. So about strikes with it. So he shared striking decision making. I think they mean he also made decisions, but the text doesn't agree with that. So instead of making any judgments himself about a strike, decisions fed to him through an earpiece connected to a modified missile. The contraption looked like a large black pizza box with one glowing green eye. It was mounted above the press stand. I actually don't understand. So if the word share means, like, did he make the decisions, then the answer is going to be no. But if it means he agreed with the decisions that was made by the ABS, then the answer is going to be not given. So Azizbek, you were right. This is difficult. If you're still watching. He shared decision making about strikes with it. Now I see. Did he share the decision making? Oh, that's so hard, bro. I mean, he totally gave it up. Yes, instead of making any judgments himself, the decisions were fed to him. So he didn't share the decisions. He totally gave them up to the software, the new technology. So I'll go with no. But I am not sure about this. Okay, it's a tough start. But we move. MLB considered it necessary to amend the size of the strike zone when criticisms were received from players. Right, so there were criticisms, but did it consider it necessary? So did they change the size of the strike zone following the criticisms? Let's find out. This is MLB. When the first pitch came in, calling a strike was a judgment. Strike zone, okay, that was another location keyword. Is considered a strike. During that first game, there was no heckling and no shouted disagreement. Nobody said a word. Arguments between a team's manager and the umpire have taken place over its boundaries and whether a ball had crossed through it, have evolved in various stages. Everyone knows that you may scream your disagreement in an umpire's face, but you must never shout personal abuse at them or touch them. That's a no-no. When the robot umpires came over, the arguments stopped completely. This is also very hard. Okay, it's definitely here, the strike zone. There are no heckling. So heckling means like criticisms, not criticisms, like negative comments or any kind of comments from the audience. Were received from players. Okay, animating forwards, arguments between a team's manager and the umpire have taken place over its boundaries and whether a ball had crossed through it. The rules of play evolve in various stages. Everyone knows that you may scream your disagreement, but there's nothing about the size of a strike zone, and there's nothing about players. The answer is going to be not given. Oh my god. It is hard. MLB is keen to justify the money spent on improving the accuracy of ABS's calculations. So, are they trying to justify the money they spent? First of all, let's find where they spent that money. Players complained about some strange calls, decided to tweak the dimensions. Wait, I'm an idiot. And the following year, the consensus was that is profoundly consistent. In response to the complaints by players, yeah, you know what the problem was? My intelligence. I mean, I've been telling you to look for location keywords. I just didn't choose the right location keyword. The word was players. And yes, players. There you go. Okay. Calm down. Calm down. They tweak the dimensions. Means they changed the size. Amend the size, yes. I'm actually gonna write down that. Tweak and amend. Tweak means amend. Believe it or not. In the following year, the consensus with that ABS is profoundly consistent. So it's not gonna be not given. It's gonna be yes. Is near perfect within fractions of an inch. It'll reduce controversy. Is worth reducing, or whether it's a sign of human hand. The 100-mile-an-hour fastball. I mean, I can't find this 29, so I'm just looking at 100-mile-an-hour fastball to narrow down my search. 100-mile-an-hour. Losing your fans. Okay. There you go. More exciting, losing your fans, as has been the case with horse racing, explains how they began the process by asking fans what version they found most exciting. More action, more hits, more defense, more base running essentially hasn't existed since the 19s, when the fastball, which is difficult to hit and control, entered the game. It flattened the game into strikeouts, walks, and home runs, a type of play lacking much action. A more exciting style of play. No, the opposite. It led to the opposite. So it's not given on the accuracy of ABS's calculations. So it's perfect, but there's nothing about the money that was spent on it and how or whether these guys are trying to justify that money. It's not, no, it's not given. The 30. The differing proposals for alterations to the baseball bat led to fierce debate on Sword's team. Where's this guy? Sword. With their running, brainstorm potential fixes, any rule that existed. Fierce debate. From changing the bats to changing the geometry, but while all of those were ruled out as potential fixes, was seen as a perfect vehicle for change. You can load any strike zone you want into the system. It might be a triangle or a blob or something shaped like Texas. Over time, as baseball evolves, can allow the zone to change with it. That existed. They talked about changing the bats to changing the geometry. But while all of these were ruled out as potential fixes, they were all ruled out for alterations to the baseball led to fierce debate on Sword's team. Again, this is difficult. Is it no or is it not given? So they were ruled out, but was the decision unanimous or was it split decision? And we don't know that. And that's my reasoning for choosing not given. Again. Yeah, so a fierce debate. I just don't see that. Fierce debate. ABS makes changes to this shape. So we have the decision, but we don't know how they arrived at this decision. Okay, next question. ABS makes changes to the shape of the strike zone feasible. It does. I read it. Changed the shape. So shape of the strike zone. And feasible is the main keyword. Yeah, it can be a triangle. So you can load any strike zone you want into the system. Makes it feasible. Easy. So there are 2 yes answers, 2 no answers, 2 not given answers. I'm very confident. Okay. Even after ABS was developed, I think here, MLB still wanted human umpires to shout out decisions as they had in their has for offside decisions, for example. VAR, yes. Tennis has Hawkeye. For almost a decade, baseball has used instant replay. This is widely liked, even if the precision can sometimes cause problems, but this application still is something physical. The boundaries are precise, delineated. This is not the case. A certain discretion has been appreciated. I think I missed it. Complained about some of the strange calls, decided to tweak the dimensions. The rules of play evolved. Everyone knows that you may scream. Okay. Yeah, I think it was in the beginning. So first, called the referred to mounted commission the system wanted human umpires to announce. Yes, they wanted human umpires anyway, just as they would have done in the past. So as they had in their past, even after still wanted human umpires to shout out decisions, just as they would have done in the past, as they had in their... Oh. F, yes. Former roles. Passed. They're passed. Passed is the answer. I was surprised. But yeah, then I saw the box of options. Okay, where's the past? I need to hurry. Yeah. So these guys, when they did the job before ABS came in, they're still doing the same thing. Like, not really, but kind of. The umpire's job had at one time required a something about whether a ball was a strike. At one time, when the first recorded voice told it was a strike, previously calling a strike was a judgment call on the part of the umpire, even if the batter doesn't hit the ball. A pitch that passes through the strike zone is considered a strike. Announced calls, there was no heckling and no shouted disagreement. Nobody said a word. Through in the past was not common. One difference was that during the first game, strike was met with total silence. I found the last answer, and I can't resist the temptation to just put it in. My answer here is a video recorded, a recorded voice. A recorded voice. No. Subjective assessment. I changed my mind. So had at one time required a judgment call. It means subjective assessment. It's D. A ball is considered a strike when the batter does not hit it and it crosses through a strike zone. Perceived area. Strike zone is an imaginary zone, which means it's a perceived area, which means it's H. Yeah, maybe I'm not explaining the answers sufficiently here, but everything is here. Just from the left side of the screen to his chest, through extending approximately from the batter knees to the middle. Exactly, yeah. It was a strike zone. It's perceived imaginary zone. In the past, something over strike calls were not common. But today everyone accepts the complete ban on pushing or shoving the umpire. So the disagreements were not uncommon. Disputes. In the past, over strike calls were not uncommon. Disputes over strike calls. Dispute means disagreement, right? People shouted at the umpire before, right? Like they do at the referee, like VAR, about the offside. No, not about the offside, about like penalty or something like that. Like subjective calls. But today everyone accepts the complete ban on pushing or shoving the umpire. One difference, however, is that during the first game, strike calls were met with... During the first game, there was no heckling. Nobody said a word. It was a total silence. Okay, now let's count. 38. What does the writer suggest about ABS in the 5th paragraph? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There you go. The 5th paragraph. What do they suggest about ABS? So a human at least yells back. When I spoke with Frank Viola, a coach for a North Carolina team, he said that ABS works as designed, but that it was also unforgiving and pedantic, almost legalistic. I don't know this word, but I can guess that it means very harsh, heartless, inflexible. Yeah, so Manfred is a lawyer. Some pitchers have complained that compared with the humans, the robot strike zones seem too precise. Viola was once a major league player himself. When he was pitching, he explained umpires rewarded skill. Throw it where you aimed and it would be a strike, even if it was an inch or two outside. There was a dialogue between pitcher and umpire. It is bound to make key decisions that are wrong. No, so it's just too precise. It doesn't have any human emotion, any bias. Reduce some of the appeal of the game. It's not the appeal. It's for players. It'll lead to the disappearance. It may increase calls for the rules of baseball to be changed. I'm kidding. It's B. Too precise. Yeah. Key decisions that are wrong. They're not wrong. They're actually too correct, right? So it's not A. C and D are just completely not given. Morgan Sword says the introduction of ABS. Okay, this guy, Sword, was part of a larger project to make baseball more exciting since executives are terrified of losing younger fans, as has been the case with horse racing and boxing. Yes, so younger fans. They want to save young audiences. They want to keep appealing to young audiences. He explains how they began the process by asking fans what version of baseball they found most exciting. The results showed that everyone wanted more action, more hits, more defense, more base running. Without a guaranteed outcome. No, was intended to keep up with the development in other sports. No, was a response to changing ideas about the role of sport. Was an attempt to ensure baseball retained a young audience. Wow. Easy peasy peasy. Terrified of losing younger fans, so young audience. That was their goal. Why does the writer include the views of No and Russo? I'm assuming they're in the end. No. I decided to email this guy. Hardly a day goes by that I don't wake up and run through the reasons that this robot empire is such a terrible idea. He later told me this is part of a movement to use algorithms to take the hard choices of living out of life. Perhaps he's right. We watch baseball to kill time, not to maximize it. Some players I have met take a dissenting stance toward the robots too, believing that accuracy is not the answer. According to Russo, who plays for a New Jersey team, with technology, people just want everything to be perfect. That's not reality. I think perfect would be weird. Your teams are always winning. Work is always just great. There's always money in your pocket. Your card never breaks down. What is there to talk about? Well, you can talk about... Yeah, I don't know what you can talk about if you don't have any problems ever. I guess I'll never find out. Yeah. To show that attitudes to technology vary widely, they don't. They're very consistent. Everybody hates it. To argue that people have unrealistic expectations of sport, maybe. To indicate that accuracy is not the same thing as enjoyment. Totally, she is correct. To suggest that the number of baseball fans needs to increase. I mean, they do, but it's not what they think. Yeah, so he thinks accuracy is not the reason, is not the answer. We want baseball to kill time, which means to enjoy the game. And if everything is perfect, then we can't really enjoy the game. So let's see how much time I have left. I have 3 minutes, solid. I'll actually return to passage 1 and look through my true, false, not given answers one more time. Can be found in a variety of different. I'm sure about that. It's true. In warmer waters, I'm sure about that as well. It's not given. Is limited. It's not limited. It's false. The extent of the loss of Amazonian manatees in the mid-20th century was only revealed many years later. Amazonian, guys. Where are you? Amazonian. Shallow waters is found in fresh water. All three are endangered. Heightened risk of extinction are both listed as vulnerably by the International Union. It's estimated that were killed between 1935 and 1954. But when did this estimate come? Was it many years later, or was it immediately? Like I'm not sure. Yeah, I think it's not given. Will fall in the coming decades? Yes, they will. Consumption increased significantly in 2000. Okay. So, a review of almost 1,800 cases of entanglement in fishing nets and of plastic consumption among marine mammals in U.S. waters from 2009 to 2020 found that at least 700 cases involved manatees. But was there an increase or decrease, like any kind of change? We don't know. It's not given. There is some legislation. Totally there is. I think I'll just check the answers. Yeah, let's see. Okay, beautiful. All correct. So, yes, in fact, there was only one false answer among 7 in total. True, false. So, passage 2, all green. Okay. Passage 3, easy peasy. Easy peasy. Phew. My band score. What's my band score? It's in the title of the stream, guys. It's in the title of the freaking stream. Yeah, okay. Yeah, somebody was saying, I'm a very humble guy. Well, clearly they haven't watched my streams. Clearly. And okay. Yes. I reach the last passage of the reading test, my mind starts being foggy and my concentration drops. How do you maintain your focus in this part? I just don't waste a lot of energy in passage 2. So for most people, passage 2 is very time consuming and very energy consuming and very stressful because they do it in the wrong order. So try doing it in my order. So let's go back to passage 2. Let me show you what I mean. Yes. Passage 2 was about procrastination. So if you start with this question type, or if you attempt to do all 3 question types at the same time, then it's very stressful, right? Your attention is divided to 3 different things. Humans are terrible at multitasking. So just avoid multitasking and you'll save energy. Yeah. Or you can also try doing passage 3 first, right? Do passage 1 and then passage 3, right? Just passage 1 for warm up, and then when your energy or when your concentration hits its peak, you can get the most difficult passage out of the way, right? And then move to passage 2. So, Aziz Bek, hope that answers to your question, Ibrahim. Aziz Bek, my score for this test was 38. What were your mistakes, if you remember? Yeah. Do you usually read chat? That's a good question. I don't. Menace to society. Sure, can you also give you information about how you practiced reading, because the majority of students really struggle with that. Yo, teacher, how are you? Okay. Question 16. Neurological evidence of a link between procrastination and emotion. Oh, neurological link. Oh, it was easy. You just couldn't find it, I guess. Yes, brain imaging. And 38. 38 in passage 3. Oh yeah, it was a bit hard. I think you chose I don't know what you chose because A doesn't make sense. Neither C. Yeah, maybe D. Maybe you chose D. I don't know. Your answer was E. Are you sure? 38? 38E? Oh, I mean, okay, I think you mean 16E, yeah. Yeah. We can see the questions. Yes, you can. Oh, you can't see the question because of my face. Sorry. I kinda like my face. $38A, yeah. It was bound to make key decisions that are wrong. No. The system's key decisions were too correct, and that was the issue. They were too perfect. Okay. Now, let's hunt for vocab. Did I have to use like the paraphrase? I don't think so. Yes, no was a bit hard. Making a judgment call. I think a judgment call is a good one. Anything else? Commission. Human umpires. Yeah, that's enough. Okay, I'll share the vocabulary in their context, I guess, in my channel. You can find the link to it in the description. See you. See you next time. How do I end the stream?